Namaste. This presentation is for educational purposes only and does not claim to diagnose, prevent, or cure any diseases or disorders. The advice and methods of this presentation should not be construed as financial, medical, or psychological advice or treatment. Please seek advice from a professional if you have serious issues. If a particular practice does not feel right, then please do not perform it. By watching and or participating in this presentation, you understand that results are not guaranteed. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred from the practices and meditations contained in this video. Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit. Thank you for joining me this Tuesday night for our weekly satsang and meditation. This will be part 2 of our Breathwork series, and we'll focus on the 3 main energy channels of the body, the Nadis. I want to say namaste to Kim, Bryce, and Jamie who are joining right now. And anybody else who happens to be watching at this time, please feel free to say hello on the chat function. So this coming Friday, 7 o'clock, will be the 3rd installment of our series on the 64 yoginis. We'll be honoring Ma Narmada, and Narmada is the goddess of one of India's holy rivers. So again, 7 p.m. on Friday. You can join us on YouTube, and you're always welcome to join us at our temple, 1260 South Xavier Street in Denver, Colorado. So to get into tonight's meditations, as many of you probably know, there are 3 main energy channels of the body called the Nadis. The central Nadi is Sushumna, running from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. This is the energy channel through which the Kundalini will rise during the act of meditation. And then on the right side, there is what is called the solar channel, or Pingala Nadi. This particular channel conveys a more dynamic energy. Some people would say masculine energy, a warmer or hotter energy, a more invigorating energy. And then on the left is Ida Nadi, which is a more receptive energy. Some people would say feminine or cooler or more passive. And I'll show you this diagram here of the nadis. So typically the Pingala Nadi on the right is illustrated in red, Ida Nadi on the left as blue, and they cross at alternating at each of the chakras. And there's some theorists who believe that this pattern may be the origin of the caduceus. So tonight's meditation will involve focusing. We're going to focus first on Ida Nadi, then Pingala Nadi, and then we're going to do a couple of, we're going to be doing one involving both of those channels, and then we're also going to do a couple of practices centered around Sushumna as well. So let's go ahead and start with a little warm-up. Let's do some basic, slow, deep yogic breath. So I invite you to find a comfortable seat, either on the floor on a cushion like I am right now, or a straight back chair will work. Place your hands on your lap. Typically we have the palms up. That way one is not distracted by being stimulated in some of the more sensitive areas of the hand. You can go ahead and assume any mudras that you choose, but find a position where the spine is aligned, the back is straight, the head stacked directly upon the neck, each of the vertebrae stacked upon one another. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest. Close your eyes and begin just breathing slowly and deeply. Remembering the pattern of the breath. As we breathe in, we fill the belly and then the chest. And as we exhale, we bring down the shoulders, bring in the chest, and bring the belly toward the spine. Rather like filling and emptying a container of water. Just focusing on the breath itself. First, the sensation of air entering and leaving through the nostrils. And the sound of the breath as it enters and leaves. The sensation of air entering the lungs. Noticing the motions of the chest and the diaphragm, including the spaces between the ribs widening with each inhalation. And noticing the movement of the belly with each inhalation and exhalation. Notice and feel how it comes out as you inhale and draws in with each exhalation. And taking a moment to check in. Noticing your body and maybe any areas of tension. Checking yourself mentally. Are there any thoughts that are hanging around? Potential distractions. You can always let those go with each exhalation. And just how you feel emotionally as well. This will give you something to compare with when we're done with our exercises. But just letting the breath flow deeply but gently. Like waves advancing and retreating on a beach. A peaceful and sandy beach. As you breathe and relax, maybe you notice the shoulders are dropping away from the ears. Breaths are going slower. The mind becoming more still. And let's just express the intention that we're here to learn and to experience, to be aware of how we are at the present moment, and just simply to be. And then finally taking one deep clearing breath, letting go of this first meditation, slowly opening your eyes, keeping a relaxed gaze, and just noticing how you're feeling at the moment. And so for our first meditation, we're going to focus on the solar channel on the right side, Pingala Nadi. And it is said that the nadis begin at the base of the spine, travel upwards toward the third eye region and each of the nostrils. So the right nostril is associated with Pingala Nadi, the solar channel, the left nostril with Ida Nadi and the lunar channel. Right, more dynamic, left, more receptive. So in our first exercise, I'm going to invite you to just bring up your left hand and just gently close off the left nostril so that you're only breathing through the right. And then I invite you to close your eyes again and resume yogic breath. And as we do this exercise, I invite you to just be aware of the effects of this practice as we do this for the next few minutes. If you'd like, you can envision the solar channel, a red passageway on the right side, like a tube. Maybe even noticing it expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale. So we'll continue this for another couple of minutes. And then I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. Relax your hand on your lap. Again, slowly open your eyes, keeping that relaxed gaze. Let your breath return to normal. And just be aware of how you're feeling at the moment and the effects of the practice. So this particular practice I learned many years ago, along with the next two that we're going to be doing. This is when I was working on my master's degree in Jungian psychology. And I remember doing this first one with the left nostril closed off, focusing on the right channel. And a lot of people in the class reported feeling more awake, feeling warmer, maybe feeling energized, maybe more alert. I even made the joke at the time that I'm surprised the military hasn't issued a bunch of little green corks for their soldiers to place in their left nostril before they go into battle. But those are very, very common reports from people who do this exercise, breathing through the right side. So now, just to compare and to contrast, let's do the other side. Let's focus on Ida Nadi by breathing through the left nostril. So take a moment, check your sitting posture, make sure your spine is aligned again. Slowly raise your right hand to close off the right nostril. Close your eyes again and resume. Slow, deep, yogic breath. Again, maybe envision Ida Nadi on the left, tube blue in color, maybe expanding as you inhale, contracting as you exhale. And then I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. Bring your hand back to your lap. Slowly open your eyes, keeping the gaze relaxed, just checking in and noticing how you're feeling. Very often in a meditation class, when somebody is focusing through the left nostril, they may report feeling more relaxed, less stressed. Maybe racing thoughts have slowed down or gone away. Maybe feeling cooler. I noticed myself doing this exercise that my breath really began to slow down with that Ida Nadi receptive energy. So now we've experienced both polarities. Let's do an exercise, and probably everyone here is familiar with it. It's called Nadis, where we're going to breathe alternating through the nostrils. And there's a number of ways in which this exercise is done. If you're used to Kundalini yoga, you may close off one nostril with your hand, move over to the other, like so. Sometimes you take the peace fingers and fold them and use the thumb and the ring finger on the right hand to open and close each nostril. One way I like to do this is taking your peace fingers again and placing them on your third eye. I find focusing on Agni Chakra, the third eye, is a good place to focus while doing this. I invite you to close your eyes again. We're going to be inhaling and exhaling deeply and slowly. And so let's lay your thumb up against your right nostril and take a nice deep inhale through the left. Hold for a moment. Then bring the ring finger to close off the left, and then exhale through the right and inhale through the right. Close off the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Then close off the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And I'm going to invite you to continue just doing this exercise at your own pace for the next few minutes. And then close off the left nostril. Make one more exhale. One more inhale through the right. Close off the right. One last exhale through the left. And slowly bring your hand back down to your lap. And slowly open your eyes, and again, just check in and notice how you're feeling. And hopefully you're kind of feeling in just a nice balanced state. Nice balance between dynamic and receptive. And I invite you to also think back to the 3 exercises. Is there one that was very easy for you? Is there one that was more difficult? Maybe that's one you want to try working with a little bit more on your own. Are there certain situations where focusing on Ida Nadi or Pingala Nadi or alternate breath might be more useful. Other times when maybe you need more of a calming energy or more of a energy, or maybe just finding balance in a particular situation. So again, I invite you to experiment with these three. In fact, something else you might notice as you go through your daily routine is you may notice at certain periods of the day you're breathing more through your right automatically, or there's more air going in and out through the left, or through both. There are some traditions, for example, that suggest doing a morning meditation at 3 a.m. because during that time, both nostrils are supposedly open equally. It seems to work the few times I've done that. But try that out for yourself if there's some time you're waking up about that time. Maybe do some deep breathing and just, I bet that deep breathing will help you go back to sleep, if nothing else. So now let's focus on the central channel, Sushumna Nadi. So again, let's check our positions, make sure the spine is still aligned. I invite you to close your eyes and resume yogic breath. And I invite you to begin to envision Sushumna Nadi running the length of the spine. A thin, silvery white tube. And right now, as you breathe, just focus on that energy center. Visualize it. And begin to notice any changes that might take place as you inhale and exhale. And then, as you inhale, I invite you to envision a cooling current of energy coming down this thin, silvery tube from the crown of your head to the base of the spine. Maybe the tube even expands a little bit as you inhale. And then as you exhale, feel a nice warm current running up the tube from the root to the crown. So we're inhaling down and exhaling up. Noticing, and just notice how it feels, circulating the energy up and down with your breath. And then, if you like, I invite you to incorporate a mantra, the simple mantra of Om. So as you inhale, I invite you to silently repeat Om. And as you exhale and bring the energy up, silently repeat Om. So inhale Om, exhale Om. So you're actually doing a very simple form of meditation practice called Kriya Yoga. And you might also just focus your gaze slightly upwards toward your third eye and just notice any light effects in your third eye as you do that. And that light be a meditational focus. And then I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. Just let go of the practice for a moment. Keep your eyes closed. For the moment, let your breath return to normal. And just check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Maybe compare and contrast how you're feeling with how you were before you began these exercises. Now we're going to do one more variation of this. So again, begin slowly and deeply breathing. Visualize that silvery white central channel running from the root to the crown. Only this time, as you inhale, feel and visualize that energy rising from the root to the crown. So we're inhaling up, exhaling, feeling that energy going down. So inhaling upwards, exhaling downwards. Let's do that a few times. And then if you'd like to incorporate the Om mantra with that, you certainly can. Let's do two more. And then take a deep and clearing breath. Letting go of the meditation. Let your breath return to normal. Check in again. Notice how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Was that last variation easier or more difficult? And slowly open your eyes. Keep that relaxed gaze. So the first variation of this exercise we did, inhaling down, exhaling up. This was how I first learned Kriya Kundalini Pranayama from my Kriya guru, Mira Pandey, at the Chausati Yogini temple in Varanasi. I've always found that to just feel very natural. But there are other meditational traditions, even within Kriya Yoga, that reverse it. So you're inhaling, moving the energy up, exhaling, bringing it down. And some people really find that more natural. And sometimes, though, I find when I'm doing this kind of breathing, I'll start out inhaling down, exhaling up, going through several rounds. And then the pattern just automatically shifts. All of a sudden, I'm feeling the energy rising as I inhale and going down as I exhale. And I'd say if that happens, or vice versa, just honor that. You're moving the energy the way it needs to go at that moment. And you may notice after doing this exercise for a while that the breath slows, and maybe you even go into a breathless state for a while where the breath is where it stops, maybe still, maybe very faint. And that's actually a good indication that you're doing the exercise right. When you need to breathe, you'll definitely resume breathing. But as with any other meditational exercise, when you come out of it, be gentle. Just relax for a while. Take some time. Maybe think about the experience before resuming your daily activity. So I hope you enjoyed these different exercises. And again, I invite you to practice them through this week, maybe incorporate them into your personal practice if that feels right. Probably many of you are already doing one or more of these exercises already in your personal practice. So maybe it's an opportunity just to deepen your experience of that practice. As always, if there's anything you'd like to share or any questions, please feel free to email me at the temple email, omcdevi@gmail.com. That's om, A-U-M, cdevi, D-E-V-I, @gmail.com. Always love to hear of your experiences and also answer questions. And with that, I just invite you to have a nice, peaceful night ahead, nice, restful sleep, and let the relaxation you experienced in this practice carry forward in the days to come. And I look forward to you joining me Friday night at 7 for our satsang and puja to the third of the 64 yoginis, Ma Narmada. Till then, namaste, blessings always. Thank you so very much, especially to Jamie, Bryce, and Kim, and Jay Mata D. Thanks again and good night.